All right, guys, we're in a very exciting chapter in our whole course here because now I'm going to show you how to reach out to potential clients. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to actually find and hone in on that person who might be interested in your services. And of course, if you aren't a freelancer and you are somebody who works a 9 to 5 and you're interested in finding perhaps new employment, this applies to you as well. Because basically what I'm going to show you how to do is segment your searches so that you can find the perfect person, company, title, anything basically you're looking for, whether it's a future job that you want to have or whether it's a client who you want to target and work with. This is where we are going to learn how to find the exact person who is tailor-made to connect with somebody like you. So first and foremost, I want you to be on the homepage of your LinkedIn profile. And you guessed it, we're going back to the search bar. But we're not typing in any specifics quite yet. Instead, we're going to click on this hourglass symbol. Okay, so we immediately see up here at the top that there are potential filters for us to go through on LinkedIn. These are things like connections, locations, current companies, and we'll take a look at all the filters that we can possibly look at. But for now, let's start with these three. Now for connections, I want you to pick first, second, and third. Now what this means is that first connections are people you're already connected to. These are your closest connections. Second connections are people that your first connections know, but you might not know already. And third connections are even broader. Your third connections mean there are 2 to 3, if not more, people separated between you and your first degree of connections. So think of it like a family tree. You and a sibling, a brother and sister, are first connections. You guys are related, you're connected. A second connection might be a sibling's friend. So, you might know your sibling's friend, you might not, but your sibling can make that connection. And third is even more distant. So that's basically how that works. But I want you to put first, second, and third connections here because we want to reach a really wide variety of people. Second, you can do a filter based on location. So if you are somebody who's seeking a new job, either in a different country or a different state, this is where you would include that filter. This also works really well for remote work. I often say, because I work as a VA, and when people ask me about my type of work, I often tell them, you don't need to work with a client who's in your same time zone. So only you will know what geographic filter is right for you, but make sure you're definitely including whether you want to work with people in the United States, maybe it's a different country altogether, maybe it's a different city. Whatever your parameters are, I want you to include those. Now, if we want to go even deeper into our search, let's go ahead and click this all filter. Now, this page where we get to all of our filters is a really great way to really niche down on people that you're trying to specifically reach. So this is where you would fill out details if you're looking to work for a particular company. Maybe Apple is your dream company. This would be a good place for you to add the company Apple, see what kind of connections come up for you, and start reaching out to people who already work in the company. Introduce yourself, get on their radar. Again, that's a great way for you just to make those introductions before you even do things like apply for a job. If you're a freelancer and you're looking for a new client who's related to your niche, let's do a quick example here. If you scroll all the way down, you can actually include specific title search. I want to work with somebody who has the title of entrepreneur. Theoretically, an entrepreneur living in New Orleans is more likely to be a person who's looking for some kind of virtual help wearing the many hats that they wear to run their business. And once you have all of your filters set and you're happy with it, go ahead and click apply. This is where LinkedIn works its magic, and you can already see that it's filtered down to just 43 people who are related. You can see a lot of them are in my second degree connection, which means we have a lot of shared first connections, but we're not yet connected. Once you do find somebody who is related to your industry, you guys share a lot of connections, maybe they're just an interesting profile and you think you have a lot in common, or you think that you can provide services or a product to this person in the future, I want you to go ahead and make that connection. One thing real quick is we are not pitching our services at this point or products because like everything else in this course, this person doesn't know who you are yet. So remember earlier when people were pitching us things like buy my book, join my webinar, do the service. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. well, that person's going to think the same thing about you if you pitch them anything at this point. So instead, once you go through and you find a person who you think, yep, this is the person I want to connect with, this is the person who I see a lot of potential with, and I think that we could work together, then I want you to open up their profile. I want you to go through and make sure you're reading their summary. I want you to look at their past experience, their education, look at their recommendations. I even want you to look at your mutual connections. And then from there, what I want you to do is click on connect, add them a note, and here's where we're going to add them a custom note. Again, going through why you're reaching out, what's interesting about their profile, and how excited you are to connect and see them on LinkedIn.